Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me in the lesson. Today I want to talk about how you can prepare yourself for the ISLPR writing test. I'm going to give you a comprehensive guide to the format, the strategy, and practice. So I'll walk you through everything that you need to know. And as you can see in the main area here, this is where I'm going to walk you through what you need to do to prepare yourself. And just below my picture here, you can see that there is a tool that I'm going to show you that you can use to practice before you can write the actual exam. This tool is trained to assess your writing or your essays just like an examiner. So if you stick to the end, you're going to see how you can use this tool. Okay, so without wasting your time, let's get started. So let's go with how to tackle the ISLPR exams. Now, let's begin by talking about the format. The format of the exam is in such a way that you write it in 1 hour, 60 minutes. And in this 1 hour, you're expected to write 400 words. The first task is about 150 words. The second task is about 250 words. Now, you need to understand the context of the exam. Every time you are given a question is realistic and it is based on workplace or education situations. So for those of you that are going to do teacher registration, just know that your questions will be based on the workplace in schools or educational context. You need to look for the purpose of what you are writing or the purpose of the question and a topic type. For example, if it's a letter, you'll be asked to write to a particular audience, which would be the head teacher or another school or parents or the students themselves. And the type is whether it's a letter or a speech or a memo or whatever it is that you are given to work on. So for professional registration, at least one task is going to be linked to teaching practice, and it's going to be a memo, email, open letter, or anything in that sense, which you can write in 150 words. Audiences. Your audience could be students, parents, and colleagues, community, education officers. Any of these can be your audience. So you may be asked to write a letter, a memo, or any of the writing types that relate to 150 words. Then the second task is often opinion based, and it can be a report, it can be an essay, it can be an article, it can be a submission, it can even be a proposal, because this is where you may be asked to talk about what you think, where you put out your opinion in the task. Let's now talk about the key rules that you need to follow for your preparation. Number one, remember that there will be no dictionary allowed in the exam. So as you prepare, don't use a dictionary. Start learning words that you can use and add to the repertoire of words. Number two, you must read carefully and check your work. So read carefully to understand the instructions and check your work after writing. Neat handwriting is required, of course, because you'll be writing with your hand. There is no typing. You'll be writing with your hand. So train to write in a legible way. Lastly, time management is essential. You are given 60 minutes to write your essay. Okay. So you need to divide how you are going to write your 400 words. Let's now talk about before the test. What should you practice? Okay. Firstly, daily English writing. Just focus on daily English writing, and that should be professional daily English. Don't go academic, don't go casual. And you practice writing 400 words in 60 minutes. And you can have two tasks. And don't worry, at the end of this lesson, I'm going to give you a very good platform that you can use to test yourself. Secondly, avoid memorized chunks. Avoid reliance on spell grammar check. Now, if you are using Word to practice, you should turn off spell check or something like that. And some of you, you've got Grammarly in your browser, and therefore it can help. Avoid any of the spell check or grammar check tools that can help you perfect your writing. Learn handwritten formatting conventions. Again, start using writing on a piece of paper. Start writing on a piece of paper just to practice what you have to do. Now, what writing techniques should you use during the paper? So, flexible paraphrasing. You should paraphrase if it means, sorry, paragraphing. You need to ensure there is space. You leave a space. Now, what I recommend is instead of indenting, you can write in block structure or block formatting where you skip a line to show that you have paragraph. So you skip a line and start every sentence of the paragraph from the left side without any indentation. Thirdly, if you want your ideas to flow well, there's what we call thematic fronting, meaning that the theme of the paragraph, the topic of the sentence must come at the beginning, okay? At the beginning of the paragraph. So I would suggest that you put a topic sentence at the beginning. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there is, I'll put a link somewhere up on screen for you to see on how to write an essay where I talk about paragraphs and stuff that goes into writing a paragraph, okay? Then use linking words only when helpful. Now, I know when you're going to write a test, you have been taught to use linking words like however, in addition, furthermore, moreover, and all those nice words, okay? It's very important that you do that, but you don't always need any of those words to make your ideas flow, okay? You don't need that. So when it makes sense, use them. Do not overuse them. Avoid cliches. This is self-explanatory. Avoid cliches because they may not fall in the professional standard that you are required to write your task in. Read writing aloud in your mind to check clarity. So when you write, read it in your mind aloud. You know what I mean? Don't speak, but just read to yourself and see if what you are writing is flowing. Okay, now I'm going to talk about one tool that you can use to prepare for all these things. But before I do that, allow me to just tell you something about this tool. It's called ISLPR Writing Test.com. It gives you prompts which are timed and they follow the ISLPR. It uses AI to give you feedback on clarity, register, organization, and accuracy. You should try it so that you know. And if you like it, you can use it. You'll be given 2 essays every week for free. But if you want to practice more, you can get more than that. The platform is called ISLPR Writing Test, like I said. So to start practicing, you can click any of these buttons which says start practicing. Start practicing. Let me just click on the one on top here. Okay, to log in, I think I'll log in with my Google account. I'll choose this one. Okay, it's asking me to verify my account. I'll just do that. Confirm that it's me trying to log in. Okay, so let me just, since I'm logged in, I'll just go back and walk you through step by step. This is your account. You can go to your dashboard and you just click on write. It comes to this where you can get a random question. For me, I decided for 450 words. The question is, a professional learning session is scheduled after school. Write a memo to staff confirming time, location, required preparation, and expectations for the participation. Here it gives you tips. Keep it structured, include the logistics and preparation. Use professional action focused wording. Okay. So what I'll do is, for the sake of time, I'll just answer this question and bring it back into the system. Okay, so let me paste my answer in there. This is my answer. And here it tells me that I have written 139 out of 150 words. Again, in the in the ISLPR test, because you'll be writing on a piece of paper, you don't have this Now, what I did, I was supposed to do actually was to click start and start typing or start writing, but this is a tutorial. But if you are going to use this before you start, please click here and you see that the counter or the timer will start going, showing you how much time is remaining for you. Let me submit for feedback. It's just processing and evaluating this writing. I'll pause the timer in the meantime. I don't need it. So it's telling me that the task fulfillment is 5 out of 5. The organization is 5 out of 5. The language is 5 out of 5. Let me try to put in something that is not an answer. I'll try to put in lorem ipsum. Yeah, just to see that if this platform really works. Okay, so this is done. I can go back to another question. Now, let me get another question. Maybe an essay, long essay for 250 words. Get question, and it will give me a random question. This one is when write an article for staff outlining how to ensure whole school events are inclusive. Now, here is the thing. I'll just paste in dummy text because we want to put this platform to task. And this is 238 words out of 250, right? I've just put in lorem ipsum $seat made. I don't know what this is, but this is just dummy text. I want to see how much I'm going to get for this. I'm evaluating my essay. I'll see how much I'll get from this. Okay, you can see that because I just put in nonsense, it says task fulfillment 0 out of 5. Organization, I got 1 because the text is structured into paragraphs, but it lacks logical coherence and relevance to the task. What is the comment on the first one? The response does not address the prompt as it uses placeholder text without any relevant content. Yes. Then language accuracy 0 out of 5. The response is in Latin placeholder text. So it cannot be assessed for grammar or sentence structure. So 0 out of 5. Vocabulary, how is my vocabulary? Vocabulary is not so relevant to the task as it consists of placeholder text. Mechanics, the response contains placeholder text, so spelling and punctuation cannot be assessed. You see that this is a very good platform because you can't just put in anything. Whatever you put in, it will give you. Now, what is the evaluation summary? The response does not meet the requirement of the task as it consists entirely of placeholder text. It lacks relevant content, coherence, and language accuracy. To improve, focus on addressing the prompt directly and using appropriate English language structures. Then, on strengths, the response is divided into paragraphs indicating an understanding of basic organizational structure. That's the only thing we got right here. Areas of improvement, you can even see the color. I think there's nothing good. Task fulfillment, the response does not address the task or the prompt. Why it matters, addressing the prompt is crucial for demonstrating understanding and ability to respond to specific tasks. So this is very important, and this is what examiners are looking for. Examples from your writing. Lorem ipsum $seat made, blah, 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 blah. How to fix this? Replace placeholder text with relevant content addressing the prompt. Better example. To ensure whole school events are inclusive, schools can implement strategies such as, so this is an example it's giving us. This is what we are supposed to write using proper English and addressing the question, because the question is saying, write an article for staff outlining how to ensure whole school events are inclusive for students with diverse needs. Provide 2 strategies and 1 example of an adjustment. Okay, so this is what we are supposed to respond to. And then it says next targets for improvement. Number 1, replace. In short, don't ever use placeholder text to test this. Just write. Secondly, language accuracy. Thirdly, vocabulary. Use task-specific vocabulary. And this is very important because in ISLPR, you are a professional, you are a teacher. There's a language um, um, register that you need to use. For example, if you are describing classroom, or in this same question, for example, if you are describing inclusivity or inclusiveness in schools, obviously you can talk about maybe differentiation in terms of the way you are teaching, but this is school events. Since they're talking about school events, so talk about words that relate to how you can cater for diverse needs. Okay, I think that's it, guys. And if you get time, please go and look at that platform. It can just help you improve how you write your tasks, and it can help you to focus properly on your exams. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.